The government plans to procure some 60 million Pfizer vaccines for the younger population. This is after the Food and Drug Administration approved the use of the U.S.-made jab on vaccinees aged 12 to 15. The Trade Department has asked the IATF to allow the resumption of indoor activities across the NCR Plus region. The number of jobless Filipinos soared to 4.1 million in April after the government resorted to lockdowns after a surge in COVID-19 cases. And in politics, Senator Ping Lacson has rejected Isambayan's offer to join its list of presidentiables for the 2022 elections. In sports, Paragen Alain Ganapin becomes the latest Filipino athlete to qualify for the Tokyo Paralympics. Focused and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. The number of jobless Filipinos climbed last month due to heightened restrictions and another rise in COVID cases. This has prompted the World Bank to downgrade its growth forecast for the country. Shaila Francisco with the numbers.
Construction worker Bonifacio had just returned to the field after 2 months of idleness. As his family's breadwinner, he said they mostly relied on their relatives' help while he was jobless.
Nawawalan din po kami ng trabaho kasi yung mga kalsada pinapasara din eh. Wala na kaming madaanan masyado. Halos konti lang din yung kita nung time ng lockdown na yun eh. May asawa na rin ako kaso minsan tinutulungan din kami ng pamilya ko.
More Filipinos have become jobless last April, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. From 3.44 million in March, the number of unemployed Filipinos rose to 4.14 million. Metro Manila and Calabarzon had the highest unemployment rate. The PSA said the most affected sectors include construction, agriculture, retail trade, and motor vehicle repair. The agency attributed the higher unemployment to tightened quarantine restrictions amid the surge in COVID cases. In light of this, the World Bank has also downgraded its growth forecast for the country. From 5.5%, Philippines is expected to grow at 4.7% this year, though the World Bank believes there's still hope in the latter half of 2021 when there are more vaccinees.
That will impact our confidence level, consumer, business confidence, and we see that domestic demand will likely ramp up in the second half of the year, and towards 2022, it can accelerate.
By 2022, or the country's election year, World Bank expects a 5.9% growth. The global lender says it will even climb to 6% in 2023. For their part, state economic managers said the restrictions weren't all for naught, as there have been a significant decline in cases in NCR+. That's in spite of allowing public transportation and more businesses to reopen compared to the previous ECQ year. Moving forward, state economic managers hope for implementing the least restrictive MGCQ, expanding the age group allowed to go out, and gradually allowing face-to-face classes in low-risk areas. They also hope for the distribution of recovery packages on top of mass inoculations. Once these are met, they believe economic recovery will easily be achieved. Shaila Francisco, ER1 News.
And the Trade Department has appealed to the Interagency Task Force to allow indoor activities after the reopening of other sectors. On One News's agenda, DTI Secretary Mon Lopez said they propose to open indoor sports, gyms and museums at a limited capacity. Lopez said that a decision on this may be out on Thursday after the IATF meets with health experts and other stakeholders.
We actually mentioned last week to them that by this week we shall be proposing the inclusion of yung mga indoor activities, some more indoor activities in a safe manner. As you know, yung mga indoor activities talaga ang iniingatan natin. But we're opening the other sectors. Ito na po talaga yung kasunod. Kaya this week talaga siya nakasana.
The Food and Drug Administration has approved the use of Pfizer's vaccines for adolescents aged 12 to 15. However, the Health Department said that children will not be vaccinated anytime soon because of the limited vaccine supply and the government's priority list for vaccination. The DOH also announced that they are planning to procure 60 million vaccines to inoculate the country's younger population. Meanwhile, the palace clarifies that Sinopharm's emergency use authorization only covers doses donated to the Philippines that were administered to President Duterte and others. In short, this is retroactive. Palace spokesman Harry Roque said that this only includes the 1,000 donated Sinopharm doses, and a separate EUA may be needed for additional imports of the Chinese jabs moving forward. Moving on to other stories we're keeping our eyes on. President Duterte has appointed Philippine Navy Vice Commander Adelius Bordado as the new flag officer in command. Bordado will succeed Vice Admiral Giovanni Bacordo, who mandatorily retired earlier today before turning 56 tomorrow. The alumnus of the PMA Maringal class of 1988 will hold office for about 15 months. And Senator Ping Lacson has formally turned down the opposition coalition Isambayan's offer to join its list of presidentiables. Lacson has likewise declined to join Isambayan's town hall meeting on June 19. The senator cited the stumbling block remark of convener and ex-SC Justice Antonio Carpio against him and for endorsing the anti-terror law as his reasons for declining. And Manny V. Pangilinan has officially stepped down as president and CEO of telco giant PLDT. He has handed the baton over to Al Panlilio, who served as PLDT's Chief Revenue Officer and Smart Communications President and CEO. During the annual stockholders meeting earlier this afternoon, MVP said that he will remain as chairman of the telco. And Filipino Paralympic Taekwondo vet Alain Ganapin is the latest addition to the Filipino contingent for the Tokyo Olympics. The PSC, or Philippine Sports Commission, congratulated Ganapin on the feat. With this, he becomes one of the first Jins to participate in the first ever Paralympic Taekwondo competitions. Ganapin is the second Filipino to qualify for the Paralympics after swimmer Ernie Gawilan. Still in sports, the grind has not stopped for Yuka Saso. After winning her first major title, the golfer is busy preparing for various tournaments leading up to the Olympics. Lynn Olivario has the rest of the story.
Filipino-Japanese golfer Yuka Saso made history in the 76th U.S. Women's Open in San Francisco. Saso booked a slow start and outlasted Japan's Nasa Hataoka in the sudden death playoff. She's the first Filipino in history to win a major and tied for the youngest with South Korea's In-bi Park at 19 years old.
First, I'd like to thank my family. I wouldn't be here without them. And to all my friends and fans back in the Philippines and Japan, I'm really thankful. I hope I can do more better. Keep this going.
With their first major title at stake, Saso had to bounce back from 2 double bogeys in her first 3 holes. The Bulaqueña banked on support from her crew and her own preparation to get to the finals.
I was upset. Kita naman po ito sa TV na medyo naggalit ako. Pero, yun nga, gaya po na sinabi ko din kahapon na kinausap po ako ng kati ko and sinabi niya na marami pang holes. There's many chances to go, so I just had to trust myself and get myself back in position.
Fittingly, social media was filled with praises for Saso. No less than Rory McIlroy, a former world #1, was among the first to congratulate Saso on the feat. Saso herself said she patterned her swing after him. Boxing legend and Senator Manny Pacquiao also tipped his hat off to the young gun. Over in Bulacan, Yuka's family, particularly her grandma, can't help but get emotional after the win.
Ay, nag-iyak na ako nung nag-iiyak. Siyempre, iba yung damdamin ng ganung tagumpay na. Hindi ko alam kung ano nararamdaman ko, basta't ako umiyak na umiyak. Until now, umiiyak ako. Hindi pa ako nakakatulog. Pero hindi ko nararamdaman yung puyat, yung pagod. Basta't ang naalala ko, gusto kong yakapin ay apo ko. Gusto ko siyang ihag talaga, hindi ala akong magawa. Magkalayo kami.
Lola Flor de Liza says even as a kid, golf has been close to Yuka's heart, a thing she got from her father.
Pero ang puso niya, napaka-low profile niya. Ang puso niya, una maka-Diyos. At simpleng bata. Hindi siya mayabang.
This may be an incredible win, but for Yuka, she's just getting started. After going up 31 spots to number 9 in the Women's World Golf Rankings, Yuka intends to join as many tournaments as she can before the Tokyo Olympics next month. The top 60 golfers from men's and women's divisions get to advance to the Olympics. Yuka is not looking too far ahead, and she knows the next tourneys are going to be harder.
There's still many tournaments before Olympics, so I think I'll focus on that first. I just want to take it a week by week and play golf, enjoy all the tournaments that I can join, and get the most experience.
She also hopes the win would inspire more kids to get into golf, even just for fun.
Siyempre gusto ko po na mas tumami po yung junior golfers natin sa Philippines, pero at the same time, parang ayoko naman po na parang nang dahil sa akin, parang ginusto lang nila yung golf. Gusto ko parang magustuhan talaga nila galing sa puso.
For News 5, Lynn Olivario, we are One News.
For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Shawn Yao. We are One News.